Kylie Jenner has been hiding her face. Let's talk about it. This is Rich Lux with the hottest news on YouTube. All right, before we get started, guys, please leave a like. It helps me out so much with the algorithm, and drop a comment. Okay, so I do want to talk about Kylie Jenner and what she's been up to lately. She recently made a video crying. I've been watching this season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and in case you haven't, it's okay. I'm gonna keep you locked in. So for the face right now, I'm actually using the Milani. They just came out with glow drops. I have it right here, actually. So this is what it looks like. This is shade light. They have medium and a dark shade, but this is the light shade, and it is 110 light. So I have it on right now. It's super cool. It's just basically like a liquid. You put it on, and it just gives your face like a glow, like a very light summer like tan. I like it. I'm not mad at it. Okay, so let's talk, because I feel like we need to talk. And I'll put this in the YouTube shop down below if you're interested. It just came out. I love Milani. All right, oh, not sponsored, although I should be. All right, so recently, Kylie Jenner has been making waves on social media again. The last thing I talked about her publicly was the fact that she got on a private jet with her sisters, and they were gonna go like skiing or something. And
I'm gonna tell you why the girls are mad. They're not mad that she didn't come on this trip.
They're not?
No, they're mad that Kylie gets to get out of filming.
Yes.
Kylie doesn't have to come on this filming trip because it's not a family vacation trip.
Yeah.
Kylie goes to Aspen multiple times a year with Kendall.
Sure.
And all their friends.
Yeah.
They're upset that Chris, executive producer, doesn't put her foot down for Kylie to say, you are going on this trip. You're contractually obligated to.
Yeah.
And you need to show up and support the show.
But do you think that that's something that Chris can do while they're rolling? Like, hey, we're doing a show here, and you need to shut up and sit on this plane.
We're so beyond the third wall, fourth wall, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Chris will never, because Kylie is just her favorite.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't really put her foot down.
She's also, I think we take out of context of like, she's also the actual baby of this entire franchise. So the babies, they do what they want.
Yeah. But Chris, I get why they're mad. They want to hang out with Kylie. No, they want to be... They all want to show up and film the show and be done.
Yep.
And she wanted off the plane. And all her sisters got mad because she always gets away with not doing these trips. And they were like, here she is again. She's claiming her anxiety, and she gets off the plane, and the mom lets her do it. I think that the mom should be like, you know what? You know, you're coming on this trip. Kris Jenner, although I love her as being a great mom, she sometimes doesn't put her foot down as much as I want her to. I think as much as I want to. But I do think that it's obvious, in my opinion, that Kylie is her favorite, and she probably brings in the most money. Now, all that to say this, on the show recently, she's been kind of hiding her face, and people have been noticing that she looks a little different. Now, recently, I made a video on TikTok calling Kylie Jenner out for a non-disclosed advertisement of her drinking glow water again, but her body just looks different because it's just a mess, girl. Her body looks different. People are saying she got a second boob job, that she's too thin now, and that's how it is on social media. Like, oh, first you're too big, then you're too thin, and things like that. You can never please everybody. But being on social media, Kylie Jenner, we've seen her face change. And a lot of people are saying that she has, in some way, changed her face, and that the filler is starting to droop down, and she does look different. And she was crying on social media talking about why do people make fun of her and think it's okay to make fun of her looks. When in all actuality, that's what she was known for, is her looks, is beauty. So I want to show you this clip. It's called Drippin'. That's the source who posted it. And they pointed out some really good topics about Kylie Jenner that I think we should take a look at. So here we go, roll it.
Or is Kylie Jenner trying to deliberately hide her face while she was just at Fashion Week?
Just like, why do people think it's okay to talk about me?
Kylie Jenner has been monumental in setting beauty standards, but now it's come back to bite her hard.
I hear nasty things about myself all the time.
She recently broke down hard because of all the negative comments saying, girl, you buy a new face annually. And if she didn't Photoshop her pictures into oblivion, we wouldn't be surprised by her face in real life. She's been getting so much publicity over how she ruined her face with cosmetic surgery and fillers at the age of 26.
I'll see some comments and it's like, where some people be like, this is really mean, and defend me. Like, why are we talking about her looks? It's 2024. And then I'll see other comments like, because she did it to herself. She up her face. She has so much surgery. And I'm like, even if I did get so much surgery and I have this and I got all these things, I still don't think it's okay to talk about someone's looks. I agree. People have been talking about my looks since I was 12, 13. Before I even got lip filler, people talk about my looks. So it's like, and it's just so hurtful. I look old. I see it under every post.
Listen closely to what she says here.
I think it's just after 10 years of hearing about it, 10 plus years, it just gets exhausting. I'm kind of like so numb to people talking about my looks at this point, and I just want to know why on the internet no one says anything or think that it's okay.
So is the reason Kylie is breaking down because she's now struggling to meet the beauty standards she set out?
I went on a journey the last year, dissolving like half my lip filler. I hate even having this conversation over and over and over again because it feels like it's a waste of my breath, because I think with me it's just never gonna change, but it's just been...
Because people are not buying what she's selling this time. Kylie is seriously losing trust, and it doesn't seem like anyone is feeling sorry for her or any of her sisters, especially after Kim just said,
I've got about 10 years to where I still look good, so that's all I've got in me.
Which is really sad because it's telling girls and young women that they are only good for so long, and we have a shelf life based solely on our appearance. Do you remember Kylie's lip kits, which sold out lightning fast because she was selling a total lie? Screenshot these comments about her lip kit lies. Kylie was selling her own lips as the standard, and we all know those are not her real lips. Even Kendall has chimed in over how they are impacted by beauty standards as celebs, sharing just how hard things are for them.
We're dehumanized. Like, they don't think that there's any rules with us, whereas like if you talked the same way you do about us about any other woman, people would come to their defense all day long. But for some reason with us, it's like they don't think we have any feelings.
People are sick of the Kar-Jenners crying about this. They made their entire brand off their looks, and they're upset now when people talk about their looks. When you make yourself a product, you're gonna get all kinds of reviews. Follow us and turn on bell notifications so you don't...
All right. Now, I'm not the only one talking about this because so many other people on social media are talking about Kylie Jenner and how her face looks like it's drooping.
So there's a clip from the Kardashians going viral right now where Kylie Jenner is crying over why people feel it's appropriate to cyberbully her appearance. And Kendall empathizes with her and says, I don't know why people feel like they can be mean to us and it's exempt from being mean to any other woman on the internet. And there are two core ideas that I want to hit on here. The first is that this is a family that literally commodified their bodies, monetized their appearances, and turned them into a business. And to be so clear, I'm not overstating how Kylie Jenner monetized her appearance, because it's Kylie's lip kit that got her to this Forbes cover that claimed that at 21, she's said to be the youngest ever self-made billionaire. Now, her net worth in 2024 is closer to $700 million. Kim is the only member of the family who's at $1.7 billion. But here's the thing, culturally, we review products and services. And the fact is that this family made a business decision to turn themselves, their image, and their bodies into products and services to monetize. So when they're saying, why are we treated differently than any other woman on the internet? It's because it goes beyond sort of the celebrity saying, okay, I chose to be in the public eye, but I don't want to be followed around by paparazzi, which I think we can extend grace to because we can understand that there should be a wall between public and private. But part of why the Kardashians have so much money, fame, opportunity, followers is because all of the moves that they've made broke down that wall between public and private. Not only did they literally invite people into their homes, but they have specifically made choices in one business venture after the next to fully integrate, again, not just their lives, but their appearance. What they monetize is based on their appearance. So the fact that a public who they've trained to focus in on their appearance is focusing in on their appearance should not be surprising. Even if on a human level it's hurtful, it shouldn't be surprising. And that brings me to my second point when Kendall asks the question of why do you think it's okay to comment on us and comment on our bodies, is that the premise of social media is two-way communication. And here's what I mean. Let's say it's 20 years ago, you're Kylie Jenner, this photo comes out, it's unflattering, there's unflattering commentary. And so you make a decision with your publicist that you are going to have like a tell-all interview on national television where you talk about how hurtful it was, you cry, and you change public sentiment. So whether that's on a morning show, whether that's on Oprah, whether that's on 60 Minutes, whether that's in a documentary style, photo, right? You do this interview, you change the narrative, and maybe there's someone in the press who writes a follow-up piece, sort of fact-checking actually how you monetized your appearance and centered your entire community around talking about your appearance, right? Maybe that appears in like a weekend edition of a newspaper or in a magazine or an online blog. But really, you can control the narrative by doing that, right? So in actuality, the news cycle moves so fast with social media that we were already on to the next, right? Kylie had whatever corrective, whatever you want to say she had to not look like she is now in the photos that she did in France, whether you think it's corrective work, whether you think it's different makeup, whether you think it's different lighting, whatever you think it is, whether you think that she's doing the thing that they do where you like tie your face up with the mouth tape and the whatever you believe that she does to adjust the semblance of her face, she has done that since those photos. And we're on to the next story. But in fact, this expose moment is making her PR so much worse because everyone who has a phone, who is aware of the actual experience of engaging with her content on social media, can make these commentary videos and bring it full circle in conversation so that it's not just kind of her perspective as the celebrity shouted down at you. It's everyone else sort of uplifting a message of like, here's what the social media audience thinks, and all in conversation with each other, because that's what social media does, and that's what TikTok does so well, right? I've already seen a few different videos trending on my FYP with really interesting and important takes about how Kylie affected the body image of so many girls, particularly Gen Z, particularly very young millennials. And so they're kind of arguing that like you reap what you sow. And I don't know that this would be as heavily in conversation again if it hadn't been brought back out by the show.
And she does look older. And that's the whole thing with Kylie Jenner, is the fact that her face looks so much older than what she really is. And I was looking at it and I was like,
Kylie Jenner denies having all facial plastic surgery except for facial fillers. Do we believe her? Kylie Jenner's face has changed fairly dramatically over the years, and it seems to be due to probably a little bit more than just fillers. Nothing against her. But looking at her face, we can see that she started out with a rather rounder face with features a little bit out of balance. Then she kind of morphed into this very proportionate, heart-shaped face with features that are definitely more defined, sculpted, and imbalanced. So I'm very suspicious for several different procedures. I think looking at her starting from the top down, so if you look at her eyes and her brow, we do see some reshaping there. You see that the upper lips have gone from heavier upper lids to more open and raised upper eyelids, so it is a little suspicious for an upper blepharoplasty, which is an upper eyelid surgery to open the upper eyes. Some of that could be due to some Botox and some lifting and reshaping of the brow, but the upper eyelid is a little suspicious for that. Then if we start looking more to the mid-face or to her nose, we also see that the nose has gone from a wider nose to a more defined nose, particularly in the bridge and the tip. And again, that doesn't occur naturally. So I am suspicious that at some point she underwent a rhinoplasty. Then if we go down to the lower part of her face, I think there's even some more dramatic changes there. We see that she had a really strong chin. That strong chin is getting a little weaker and more defined in shape. And that again is something that doesn't just happen on its own. So there are some procedures where you can reduce the chin, and I'm a little bit suspicious for that because we can see that it was just so overpowering, and then it comes into just a much more feminine, elegant, balanced chin and jawline. So I'm a little suspicious that something maybe was done to the chin itself. And then of course, one of the things she's most famous for is her lips. And when she was younger, we see that her upper lip was very thin and out of balance from her lower lip. And she's admitted that she's had fillers in her lips. And I do think that was done well and balanced out her upper and lower lip. And then as far as not plastic surgery, as far as the fillers, yes, I definitely think she's had fillers in her face, particularly to highlight the cheekbones and bring that mid-face into balance with the rest of her face. Again, taking that sort of bottom-heavy face and flipping it to a heart-shaped face. Overall, I think it's very well done and very balanced. I do want to comment that a lot of people think she had a buccal lipectomy, which is taking out the fat pad from the lower face. It's possible, although from younger to older, that naturally comes in a little bit. And if she did reduce the lower face, it may have come in naturally with that. She did have those heavy, kind of chubby cheeks come in and be more contoured. So there is a small possibility also of a buccal lipectomy. I do have to add one other little caveat to that, which Kylie herself has admitted to, which is she does a lot of filtering and changing changing of her own face by editing. So we can see in some photos her face changing throughout the years, where the nose is smaller, bigger, different features, smaller, bigger, eyes bigger, cheeks bigger, smaller. So some of these changes that we're seeing also can be due to her own photo editing, but I do think some of the overall changes are also probably due to some plastic surgery.
Okay, she doesn't seem to be a heavy smoker or heavy drinker, so why does she look so aged? And then when I was looking back at photos and watching past episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I've come to the conclusion that it's just too much Botox and filler that she didn't need at such a young age. Not only that, but just the fact that she got so much work done and probably the stress of running a business and having kids and relationships and being in the press. I think it has aged her because she definitely doesn't look her age. Now, all that to say this, it could be all the GMOs in her foods and the phthalates and phthalates and carbon black that she might be putting on her body, like who knows? But I have been noticing, like when I see people like in the mall, like younger kids, I'm like, that person looks super old. Like, have you guys ever seen a kid that looks way older than what they really are? And I'm thinking, what are you feeding these kids? What growth hormone are you feeding? So I think it might have to do with like GMOs and processed foods. But that's just my opinion, because I do notice that sometimes people look a lot older than what they used to be. Because if you look at like pictures of people back in the day, like in the 50s and 40s and 30s, they look super young. And if you look at what people look like now, we look so much older than what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like mind blown by that whole thing. So, but anyways, I want to know what you guys think about Kylie Jenner and how she's looking lately. You can leave down the comments down below. And also, I really don't feel bad for her because she's in the spotlight. She is a public figure, so she's open to commentary and discussion. So the fact that she's a billionaire sitting on a couch crying that people are making fun of how she looks, it's like, girl, you're a multi-billionaire that you made money off beauty and fashion and the way that you look. So of course people are going to talk about it. It just comes with the gig. It comes with being a socialite, is that people are going to talk about you. So I don't understand why she's just like, oh, they're just making fun of me, people talk about me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, girl, you're putting yourself out there, people are going to talk about you. That's just the way of the world. And you would think by now that she would have much more thicker skin. So when I saw that clip air of her and her sister on the couch crying about it, I was like, this is fake the house. This is fake the house. Why is she doing this? Why is she playing into this stereotype of people making fun of her? Girl, that's been happening for years. You're just now crying about it? Are you serious? Come on. I don't know. I don't buy the whole thing. But anyways, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. This is Rich Lex with the hottest news on YouTube.